Hello and welcome. This is Kathleen Lovito, and I will be your host for today's webinar entitled VA Ratings 101, Why 90% plus 10% Does Not Equal 100%. Joining me today is Jodee Neumann, Team Leader of VA Benefits, and Veronica Petrova, VA Benefits Coordinator at ACMA. They'll be sharing just about 20 minutes of slides for you today. We will conclude this presentation with a question and answer series. If you have any questions during the presentation, please feel free to enter them into the question bar on your screen. ACMA stands for American Armed Forces Mutual Aid Association and is the longest-standing not-for-profit association that empowers military families with affordable financial solutions. ACMA focuses exclusively on the needs of military families and works to provide innovative, personalized, and lifestyle-appropriate financial solutions. We accomplish this by being the premier provider of affordable life insurance, expert investment management, customized residential mortgages, and exclusive survivor assistance services, all for the military community, not for profit. This presentation is educational. It's for general information only and is not specific investment, legal, or tax advice for any of you individually. Do not rely on this presentation alone to guide your life insurance decisions. Since each individual situation is unique, the life insurance that benefits you the most will not necessarily be the same as another current or former service member. For individual advice, please contact us directly. We provide this webinar series in-house with our own professional staff as a service to our members and to help them better understand the resources available to them. I will now go ahead and turn over to Jodee and Veronica to begin the presentation.
Okay. Thank you, Kathleen, and welcome to everyone who's listening to this webinar. Before we begin our presentation, we would like to let you know about ACMA's unique hallmark services that focus specifically on the needs of our military community. Our member benefits team provides personal support to our eligible members on understanding military and government benefits, such as SBP, Social Security, Medicare, TRICARE, and TRICARE for Life. We ensure our members' personal and military information is current, to include essential documents, such as your DD-214, military discharge papers, marriage certificates, divorce decrees, and VA award letters. Every ACMA member has a digital vault on the ACMA Member Center where they can upload their essential documents. These essential documents are required when applying for government and/or survivor benefits. Our members have access to this Member Center anytime and anywhere in a secure, encrypted environment. We also provide a personalized military benefit or family information report, which provides our eligible members with an inventory of their documents and personal and military information. Veronica and I are the VA team here at ACMA, preparing and filing disability claims for our members, as well as filing survivor benefits claims once the veteran passes away. And finally, since 1879, we have been providing our unique survivor assistance services to every ACMA insured. Our survivors are assigned their own personal survivor benefits representative, someone they work with to get all the military and government agencies notified quickly so that survivor benefits are applied for and received promptly. We make it as seamless as possible for the claimants to apply for their benefits and entitlements. More information on our services can be found on our website, www.acma.com. No other organization offers such support for their members. We are proud to serve you and proud to be celebrating our 140th anniversary this year. Now let's begin our webinar. Today's subject is VA Ratings 101, Why 90% plus 10% Does Not Equal 100%. Our agenda today will begin with defining what a VA disability rating is, its purpose, and its benefits. We'll explore how the VA rates disabilities and the math used in the ratings calculations. From there, we'll talk about other factors that can affect compensation, and we'll finish with some helpful resources. So let's begin. By definition, a VA disability rating is intended to compensate veterans for the loss of earning capacity due to service-connected conditions. A medical condition will only be granted service connection if it is the result of a disease or injury that happened or was aggravated during active duty. The compensation provided by VA for service-connected disabilities is tax-free. So let's explore a little bit about how VA rates each disability. Veronica, can you describe the whole person theory?
Absolutely. When it comes to service-connected compensation claims, the VA takes the view that it should not add whole numbers together to get your rating, but instead, the VA takes percentages of percentages, with the theory being if you're 10% disabled, then you're 90% healthy. Therefore, the next rating is not added, but is used to take a percentage of the healthy 90%. So, for a veteran with two 10% ratings, the first 10% rating would be 10% of 100, which is 10%. And the second 10% rating would be 10% of the 90%. Again, we're talking about the healthy percent of the veteran, which is 9%. So the combined rating would be 19%. 10% plus 9% equals 19%. The final percentage is rounded up or down to the nearest 10%. Here, the rating would be rounded to 20%. The idea is that if you have no disabilities, you're a 100% whole person. If you have a 30% disability, you're 30% disabled and 70% whole. Each subsequent rating is a reduction of the whole person remaining, and that is why a combined disability rating can never be greater than 100%.
Oh, okay. And what criteria does the VA use to assign the rating percentage for each condition?
The VA actually uses the Code of Federal Regulations for each medical diagnostic code, and each condition is rated from 0% to 100%. And please keep in mind that a 0% rating is very important. This means that service connection has been granted, but the severity of the condition is not compensable. If the condition worsens in the future, and increase can be pursued. Okay, great. So let's walk through the way that VA adds up all of a veteran's conditions to reach a combined rating. The first step is to arrange the conditions in their order from highest to lowest percentages. So the veteran in our slide here has one condition rated at 50% and another condition rated at 30%. For those of you that are thinking that this veteran is 80% disabled, that would be incorrect. Welcome to the world of VA math. Okay, and this is what the combined ratings table looks like. This example is going to be broken into two sections, and you will notice the vertical columns on the left and the rows along the top. And so let me show you. Those are the vertical lines, and those are the rows on the top. So let's start with our example.
Okay, so in our example here, veteran Joe has disability ratings of 50%, 30%, and 10%. For now, we'll just describe the concept, and then in the next couple of slides, we'll show you the computations. To use the combined rating table, you first locate the highest rating in the vertical column like Veronica showed you. Then you locate the next highest rating along the horizontal column on the top. Where these two intersect is the combined rating. You then continue through all of the ratings and obtain the final number. That final number is then converted to the nearest number divisible by 10. So if you're ready, we're going to show you some VA math.
Okay, so I am going to go over the example that Jodee just gave you. So let's start from the beginning. The first disability is 50%. So we go down the vertical column and we find the 50%. Then we go at the top and we look for the 30%. And where the two intersect, that would give us 50% plus 30%. They intersect at number 65. So that would give us the 65%. Then we take the 65% and we look again at the vertical column. We locate that, and then we have to add the other condition that is rated at 10%. So we look at the top row, and where the two numbers intersect, which is at 69, that is your overall percentage. 69 has to be rounded up to 70. So the overall rating would be 70%.
Okay, well, you made it simple for us. It's interesting to note that the combinator is the term that we have heard VA employees use to lovingly refer to the combined rating table. So moving along, everyone can see why a 90% rating and a 10% rating does not equal 100% rating. When you look at the table, if the rating is exactly 90%, it would take a condition that is 50% to reach a combined rating of 95, which would then round up to 100. So just be careful when doing your calculations because you must use the exact combined percentage before rounding up or down. So for example, if your combined percentage is 86%, then you must start at 86% and not at 90%. So hopefully that makes it a little bit clearer as to how the VA combines those ratings. Next slide, we're going to explore, once you have a VA disability rating, you recognize the value of the monthly tax-free compensation that it affords. If you have a spouse or dependent children and your rating is 30% or higher, you receive extra compensation for your dependents. Every year, Congress votes on a COLA for VA compensation, and it is usually subject to an increase. Additionally, your VA rating decision letter will show you useful information regarding the decision that VA made on the condition, the evidence that was considered, and the law which formed the basis for the evaluation.
Okay, and here there are some other factors that can affect the amount of VA compensation, and these are for the most severe disabilities, as you see on the slide here, and some of the listed special monthly compensations are anatomical loss, loss of use such as paralysis, blindness, deafness, permanently bedridden, and homebound.
All right, we put together some resources for you. These include information on VA's website as well as a helpful video on YouTube. As always, if you are pursuing a VA claim, it is advisable to work with an advocate. On this slide is a link to a listing of accredited veteran service organizations. These organizations can assist a veteran with a VA claim free of charge. So in closing, I hope you've gained the knowledge and the resources you were looking for today. And now I'll turn it back to Kathleen to see if there are any questions from the audience.
Thank you, Jodee and Veronica. That was incredibly informative. We actually had several questions come in, so how about we take a look at a few of those now?
Sure.
Okay. All right, so the first question I'm looking at is, does the VA ever make mistakes when calculating the combined rating?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say very rarely, and the reason being is because this math is all done by computers now, so the margin of error is going to be very low. I would encourage you to work with a VSO if you feel an error has been made in your rating. They can certainly review this and assist you with this type of a situation, though.
Great. All right, so can you explain what you said about a 0% rating? Doesn't that mean that a VA denied the condition?
No, actually quite the opposite. A 0% rating is very important because it means that the condition has been granted as service-connected. It is just that the current symptoms and manifestation of the condition are not severe enough to be compensated at this time.
All right. One more question for you guys. My combined rating is close to the next highest rating percentage. Shall I file a claim to see if I can get a higher rating?
Oh, okay. That's a really good question. You want to use caution when you're filing a new claim with the VA because a new claim gives the VA the opportunity to reevaluate any or all of your other service-connected conditions. The VA can increase a rating and they can also decrease a rating. So for example, if you were rated for a hip condition and then you had hip replacement surgery, those same hip symptoms are probably better now that you have a new joint. This could cause the VA to decrease that particular rating, which would then affect your overall combined rating. You have to have sound medical evidence to support an increased rating. So just keep in mind that when you file for an increase, you can also get a decrease. So here at ACMA, Veronica and I counsel our members all the time about the potential risks involved with a new claim. There are some situations where we will advise against a new claim if it's going to be detrimental to the veteran.
Right, great. Thank you so much for that information.
Sure.
All right, we're going to break here for now, but if you have any more questions, continue to submit, and our VA coordinators will reach out to you in the next few days to help you answer those. All right, so we'll go ahead and break here for now, but you can reach us whenever you need to. Please don't hesitate to ask for help. We do this every day for our military community, and it is our pleasure. You can always register for future webinars and review past webinars at afma.com/webinars. If you found this information useful, we encourage you to please share it with your friends and family. Our membership grows stronger every year because you introduce those in your military community to ACMA. Thank you again for joining us today. Look forward to our next opportunity to assist you.